I'm Rob Stephenson. I am a mental health campaigner around breaking stigma and making our workplaces better from a mental health point of view. And this journey has happened for me over the last 12 months, and I'm going to explain to you how I've got here. I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm a husband, I am an entrepreneur, and I am bipolar. I experience bipolar disorder, which is a mental illness. It's a mental illness characterised by extremes of mood, from deep, dark depression, where I'm unable to get out of bed at times, do my job, look after my children, through to periods of mania, where I can make pretty bad decisions, bad financial decisions, but also periods of strength, where I'm highly creative, I'm resilient, I can get things done, and sometimes we don't talk enough about the strengths of our neurodiversity. It is a real privilege for me to share my story of mental ill health and living and working with bipolar disorder with an organisation. Because a lot of the work that we do is around inspiring change. It's inspiring people to speak out about their experiences of mental ill health. It's about inspiring leaders to act as role models with their experiences. But it's also inspiring culture change so that everybody, wherever they are on the mental health continuum, can seek help when they need to, but also have permission to positively look after their well-being. And being part of inspiring this change is a real privilege. Now, if I had a bit more time, I could tell you some stories about what it's like to live and work with bipolar disorder. I could tell you about the time when I just started university, when there was a knock at the door and I froze, thinking, please do not come into my room. I hope I've locked the door. But it was two friends who had arrived at the agreed time to pick me up to go out, and I couldn't face them, and I did not know why. I could tell you on my 30th birthday, a fantastic celebration at a Moroccan restaurant with all of my friends around a huge circular table celebrating my 30th birthday. And I was not there. I was alone in a friend's flat because I could not face being out due to depression. I could tell you about getting diagnosed with depression and later bipolar disorder and thinking, great, I can be fixed. They can give me some medicine, I can get some counselling and I'll be all right. And then I wasn't. And then I could tell you about my darkest time about a year and a half later when I was just 31, of trying to end my life in a period where I thought it was all futile. And thankfully that didn't happen. I was unsuccessful. But from that very dark place, I've learned to manage my condition and be a productive member of society and have friends and children and family. But like a lot of people, for the next 15, 16 years, I managed this condition under the radar. My light bulb moment came just over a year ago when I heard a chap called Jeff McDonald speak. And I sat there listening to Jeff talk about his experiences of anxiety and depression and the loss of a friend of his to suicide, and I felt shame. And the reason I felt shame is because there's me, a business owner with very supportive people around me, lovely staff, great partners, and yet every week when I go and see my therapist, I put the word physio in the diary. Physio. I mean, my team must think I have the worst physiotherapist in the world who cannot fix this back injury that I've had for years, and yet I come into work on a Monday selling tales of 100-mile bike rides at the weekend. It just did not make sense. I felt dishonest. So at that moment, I decided to be open. But not only be open, I thought, how can I contribute to this movement about ending stigma and making our workplaces and society better? So I founded a social enterprise called Inside Out. And Inside Out has the very simple mission of helping break the stigma by showcasing executive level role models. On a basic human level, what I want to see is, when you see your colleagues each day and you have that question, how are you? You actually ask it and mean it, and you wait for an answer, and then on the other side, you give an honest answer. Because some of the most meaningful conversations I've had with people are when somebody's asked me that question, I say, actually, I'm feeling a bit down today. I'm functioning, I'm out of bed, but I'm feeling like I'm heading towards depression. And then you can have an honest human conversation. And I think too often we say, how are you? I'm good, I'm fine, I'm all right, I'm okay. And it's just what we say, it's a ritual. I'd like us in the workplace where we see behaviours of people to look out for each other in a human context a bit more. How are you? I'm good, I'm fine, I'm all right, really, I'm okay. Isn't this just what we say again and again to shut it down, to push it all away?
I need your loving, baby.
So how are you, really? How are you today? I am the 1 in 4 who shut their feelings behind the door. My depression feels like climbing a mountain, each slow step a prize so difficult to obtain. In order to survive, we must forgive ourselves. There are millions of you out there living, working, thriving, and some just simply surviving. So how are you, really? How are you today? If we share our stories, this is what we'll find. 1 million warriors battling their own minds. We are the 1 in 4, but we are not alone anymore.